guys, welcome to my channel or welcome back. Today is going to be the second video in Debbie Does December. So if you didn't catch the first video when I introduced this, it's going to be kind of my version of Vlogmas. I'm going to be uploading every other day, so every odd day of the month. And a lot of these videos are going to be collabs with my friends on YouTube. There's going to be some other content as well, but mostly collabs. And this video is no exception. It's a collab with BeautybyAnneChris. And we're going to be swatching some of our favourite shadows. And I got this idea because I was thinking of buying a gold themed palette, and I'd kind of narrowed it down to either getting the new Huda Beauty one, or which is the Gold Obsessions, I think, or I was going to get the Natasha Denona gold palette, which I've wanted for absolutely ever. And because of all the Black Friday purchasing that I've been doing, I was like, no, I just can't buy anything else. And then I got to thinking, perhaps I've got quite a lot of gold shadows in my collection, and I do. So I'm going to be swatching some of my favourites out for you so that you can see them. And what AnneChris is going to be doing is swatching her silver. So my video is all that glitters is not gold, and hers is all that shines is not silver. Because we are looking for festive kind of colours. I think other than red and green, I think your gold and silver are kind of staples for party looks and festive looks. Now, we're not going to any parties clearly, are we? This is 2020, but it's still lovely to dress up and to kind of wear something a little bit special. And I think gold or silver is wearable for a lot of people. So we just thought it might be fun to show you our favourites in our collection. So without further ado, I'm just going to hop into the video, and I've picked 10 palettes that have got some of my absolute favourite golds in there. And I'm just going to swatch them all out for you and show you why I love them so much. Okay, so before I kick off, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about AnneChris. So she's your wearable, colourful girl. So if you're a little bit intimidated by some of my looks, I mean, today I went for kind of a neutral look, and this is what happened. You know, this was just like slap a bit of makeup on, ready to film this video. Didn't film the look, just going to do something neutral. I get carried away, you know. And AnneChris's philosophy is like a little bit of colour every day, but in a sort of classy, wearable way. So if my looks are too much for you, but you want to experiment a little bit with colour, I think her channel is perfect for that. She loves her indie makeup like I do, and she also does her Will I Buy It. She just recently done one all about Black Friday and sort of where to find your indie brands and which ones that she was interested to buy. So she's got a very rounded channel, lots of different things going on over there, but that's her sort of ethos, is either indie makeup or it's a little bit higher end and luxury, but incorporating colour so you can wear a little bit of colour every day. So what I'm going to do is link AnneChris's channel down in my description, and also the video that she does in collaboration with me, so that you can check her out, and I really urge you to do so. She's got a very, very interesting channel, and I really enjoy watching her. She's one of my recent discoveries, which I found when she just commented on a few of my videos, which is often how I find people. So without further ado, let's kick off, and I'm going to show you the shadows, the gold shadows that I've chosen for my picks for this video. So I'm not going to rank these, because when I did my lipstick swatching video with Lisa, and I will link that up there if you want to see it, I had a clear idea of which were my favourites and which weren't, but this is a lot more difficult because some of these are like sort of like a real old gold, orangey kind of gold. Some are a bit more of a paler kind of silvery almost gold. And I like them all for different reasons. Some of them are very sort of creamy formulas, some are glittery formulas. So I just couldn't rank them in that way. So I'm just going to talk about them. And the majority of them are still available, except for the one I'm going to start with, I believe. Now, this is by Too Faced, and it's a sparkling pineapple palette. And there's a really special gold shade in this palette, which is why I wanted the palette. So with all of these palettes, I'm going to show you the palette up close. But the shade I'm talking about is this one here, Sparkling Pineapple, and it's just absolutely stunning. It's quite glittery and it's orange in tone for a gold, but I haven't got anything else quite like it. So I'm going to swatch them all on the back of my hand, and a bit like I did with the lipstick one. So that is Sparkling Pineapple. I hope you can see it. I'm not the best swatcher. Hopefully if I turn it you can see how gorgeous it is, but it really is a special shadow. Lots of dimension in there, and as I say, a very orangey, pineapple-y shade. It's well named. Next up we've got a UK based indie brand, and it's VE Cosmetics and their Vixxen palette. Beautiful palette this. I've done a video on it. I don't use it nearly enough because this is so me. If you guys know me, you'll know how much I love my red eyeshadow. So that's the palette. Absolutely beautiful colour story of reds and oranges and black and silver. And it's this shade Eyes that I'm going to swatch out for you. And it's really, really beautiful. So that's the shade Eyes. And I don't know if the swatch is doing it justice. It is really, really pretty. A little bit sheerer, I guess, but really pretty tone to it. Just really, really pretty. So that's that one. Next up, we've got probably one of the most foiled that I'm going to show you. And this is just a stunning shade. And this palette is by Sample Beauty, and it's the Jewel Toned palette, the Prodigy palette. And I think I only used this palette once, but I use this shade in my look and it's so gorgeous. The shade is called Beryl, and it's that shade in the centre there, and you can already see just how reflective a gold it is by just seeing it there. So that's the shade Beryl, and as you can see that one's a lot more yellow gold, almost a true gold I would call that one, but if I can turn my hand maybe you'll see the reflection of it. It is just so metallic. The swatch goes on for days. It's just really, really pretty. Sample Beauty are a UK based indie brand. You can buy their palettes on BeautyBay. That's where I got this one. I think this palette was only about £20, and the quality and the shadows are fantastic in this one. Next up we've got a palette by Juvias Place, and it's the one that everybody ranks lowest whenever they do a ranking video, or generally it's towards the bottom. It's the Saharan palette, so one of their earlier palettes. But I love it because of the colour story, and particularly the gold Woodarbie that's in here. I'm probably butchering that name, but it's this one here. But again, I love red, I love black. It's my kind of neutrals if I was going for more neutral shades. But Juvias have got a really creamy formula, as you probably all know. And that one swatches so well. And that's the shade of that one. Very similar actually in tone to the one we've just swatched out by Sample Beauty, but just a true gold, very shiny, very metallic, looks gorgeous on the eyes, just beautiful. And you can see a lot more gold these two than the ones I started with. If you're looking for a bit more of an old gold kind of shade, they're quite hard to find I think, but Shroud Cosmetics Arcana palette has one in there and it's stunning. So Shroud again is an indie brand, US based indie brand, just run by a single owner. Came very much to the forefront recently because of the collab with Betty Jean and the It's Freaking Backs palette, and I think everyone's now discovering this brand, but they've been one of my personal favourites for a couple of years really, since I bought the Creepy Cute palette. And this palette is just a grunge lover's dream. But that shade Chalice is just so unique of a gold. It's that old gold, as I say. The shadows are so soft. And that was just a one swipe swatch there. It's that one at the top. It's got so much dimension to it. And yeah, a richness in tone to it. It's just really, really beautiful. So that's the first five. I'm going to just wipe off my hand, so I like to do my swatches on the back of my hand. I'm not really a arm swatcher. I'm so pale, I just don't think they show up very well on me, so it's a little bit better on the back of my hand. I just find it easier. So just going to wipe that off and then I'll show you the other five. Okay, next up we've got Melt Cosmetics. Now you guys know, if you've been here before, how much I adore Melt. I've got most of their palettes. And I was thinking, do they actually have a gold? And then I remembered that there's one in the Smoke Sessions palette. And this is such a good palette. And all the metallics are great in it. Because some of their metallics aren't the best, but these are really, really good in this palette. And the shade I think is the most beautiful in terms of being a gold is Gravity OG. So this one here, again a lot more of a rich gold in tone, kind of like not quite as much of an old gold as Chalice, but along that sort of lines, and just really stunning on the eyes. Okay, moving on to what I've got on my eyes right now. This is the star of the show on my lids here, and it's Kaleidos Makeup's Futurism 1 Sci-Fi Green palette, but it's not all about the greens in this palette. It's got a really bomb black, which is what's in my crease today, and then there's a couple of golds, but one is sort of more true gold and one's a bit more of a greeny gold. So the one I've got on my lids today is this shade here. So I'll swatch that one for you. I think that might be actually my perfect shade of gold, because I think it is, when you think of gold, it's a true gold, but it will kind of lean, like if you put it with greens, it leans more of that kind of look to it. But you put it with neutrals, like your caramel tones, and it will look like a true gold. It's really buttery smooth and metallic and just beautiful. If you've not tried Kaleidos makeup, you're truly missing out. Their palettes are a bargain for the price. Their formula's incredible. Their shimmers are some of the best that I own. Something a little bit different in terms of golds you can find in this palette by Nabla. This is the Dreamy 2. Isn't this a stunning palette? It truly is. There's a shade in here called Libertine, and when I think of a special gold, this is the one I think of. It's quite textured, and I think that's what makes it so special. And it's more silver gold than true gold, I would say, but nonetheless very, very pretty. So that's Libertine swatched out. You can see the reflectiveness in that shadow. It's just really, really beautiful. So Nabla have a bunch of different formulas in their palettes. They have these latex mattes, they have kind of a bit more satiny shades, they have normal mattes, they have some glittery toppers, and that's one of the things I love about Nabla. You can really build a fully dimensional look from just one palette. And this one's like, it feels a little bit gritty when you first touch it, but it swatches out really smooth and just ultra reflective, but it's got some tiny little particles of glitter in there, but it's not a pressed glitter. I hate pressed glitters, but it's just tiny little micro glitters in there that really sparkle, and they're kind of a little bit silvery, so it just gives it an extra dimension to it. It's a very, very special shade. So next up is one of my absolute favourite brands. I've just very recently done a video with their newest palette, but this is the Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dream palette. And you wouldn't necessarily think of this as like a Christmas palette and think about the gold in here, because everyone thinks of like the strawberry tones or maybe the blue in here. But there's a bomb gold in here. It's just beautiful. And I did a cranberry and gold kind of Christmas tutorial last year, and it just was incredible on the eyes. And the shade is called Horizon, and it's that shade there. And that's the shade swatched out. Just a true metallic gold, just really, really pretty. So we have one palette left, and save this one till last because there's not one but two golds that are really, really beautiful in this palette, and one of them I've not dipped into yet, so I'm very excited to do so on camera. And I intend to use this palette a lot more over the festive season because it's such a Christmassy palette. But it's by Nomad Cosmetics, and it's the Orient Express palette. And you've got two shades I want to swatch out for you. You've got Venice and you've got Istanbul. And this one's a lot more of a greeny gold, but it's a duochrome, and that one's more of just a standard gold. But I want to swatch them both so you can see them. Right, so that one at the top is Istanbul. Can you see the reflection in that? It's like a mirror-like shine. And this one on the side is Venice, and it's got a kind of orangey to greeny kind of base with gold in it. I'm really poor at describing colours. When you turn it like that, it looks very orange. And you turn it and it's green, and it's as I say, got a gold shimmer running through it. It's a very, very special shade. So you've got not one but two if you're looking for golds in this palette, plus a lot of other colours besides that are definitely very festive. So I'm inspired to play with this one over Christmas. So that was all of my picks for my gold shadows. I hope you enjoyed seeing them all swatched out. You'll have to let me know if I missed any that you know I've got the palettes for, and maybe I've just missed them out. I hope not. I spent a long time doing this, trying to find them. I think it took me most of a rainy Sunday afternoon selecting these palettes and swatching them all out, and it was a lot of fun, and I think I need to do a bit more of that. Encourages me to shop my stash, which I need to do. I've got over 200 eyeshadow palettes. I don't need to add any more at the moment, and I know I've got a lot of the shades I'm kind of looking at in other palettes that I'm thinking of buying. I've already got them, you know, and we all have, so it's good to know that and to revisit some of those. So yeah, it's been fun to do. And the reason that I didn't go for the silver one is because that would have been too easy. So I've got a little bit of a goth makeup aesthetic, and so I love red and black and silver. And so I've got a lot of really good silver shadows in my collection that I could have just instantly laid my hands on, but it was a little bit more tricky finding the golds. But I do enjoy a gold shadow, particularly at Christmas time. So I'm super excited to see what AnneChris has pulled out for her silver video. As I say, I'm going to link everything that you need down in my description box. So her video and her channel. So please pop over and show her some love and let her know that I sent you. I think you're going to love her. As I say, she's a lot more toned down in makeup aesthetic to me. So if you find my looks a little bit too out of the box and you're wanting to experiment with some colour, but you're just not quite wanting to take it to kind of like my kind of graphic kind of, I don't know, craziness that I do sometimes, she keeps it a lot more classy. So I think you're going to enjoy her. If you like colour and you like haul videos, you like indie makeup, and you like a bit of luxury makeup thrown in, I think you're going to really enjoy her content. So AnneChris, thank you so much for doing this with me. And guys, if you popped over from AnneChris's channel, thank you. I hope you might consider subscribing before you go. You're not going to want to miss all of the festive content I've got coming up, because I'm going to be uploading, as I say, every other day in December. So lots of festive content. 2020 has been a year, hasn't it? It's not been the greatest, and I just want to bring some fun and some festive spirit to the last month of the year. So every video I do is going to be upbeat, it's going to be fun, and we're going to do some different things on this channel. So hope you're up for that. But I hope you're having a lovely day or night wherever you are, guys, and hopefully catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.